Hi everyone, you're watching Jana FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. But first of all, let me introduce the sponsor of this video, SimpleFX.com, which offers Forex and cryptocurrency CFDs trading. You can see this site right now on my screen, and the links to SimpleFX.com you can find in the description under this video. Okay, now let's start with technical analysis, but also still again I want to say that many people are still, not that many, but some people are complaining that the videos are very long for technical analysis. With analysis you really just say what to expect next week, but in my videos you also see what happened previous week, because these are more like sharing with you the ways of trading, so how I trade. So maybe I should call the videos how to trade Forex, or maybe Forex strategies, I don't know, because you can see that my videos are not just simple analysis like many other do. I do actually explain the trades in my videos, and where I place the trades, where I took the profits, where the stop losses. So you saw this, I've been doing this in my many other previous videos, and I'm doing it still right now, even though I'm not trading yet. I will be trying to start trading again, possibly this coming week, because it's September now, and I'm still a bit busy, so I probably wouldn't trade very aggressively, maybe just few trades a week, which I will try to share with you guys. So that's why these analyses are not really just simple forecasts. You see, they're more educational, let's say. Even so, I don't really like to say that educational, because I'm not really a teacher, I'm not a professional, and I just share with you my thoughts and the way I trade. So again, saying this video will be analysis and sharing the trades and the ways, the possibilities of trading, right? So because when I do place my levels and I tell you look for consolidation, looking for the patterns, and for many of you who are with me right from the beginning, you do understand what I'm talking about, but a lot of people are newbies, and when they start to watching the videos, they don't understand a lot, because they don't watch my old videos. They think if it's 2013 or 2014 video that systems don't work anymore, which is not true, because all the systems are working the same way, and I'm not changing my techniques and my strategies of trading. I'm using exactly everything the same. So because of that also, I'm trying to show in my analysis, it's a real time, it's these days how I use the same techniques, the same strategies. So that's why I thought it's nice to share it. But well, again, we had a kind of conversation before in words before that what would be better, and most of you are actually still happy with what I'm doing. But again, this intro a little bit for those of you who watches the first time video. So please watch the old videos, the strategies. Not saying watching all my forecasts, because yes, lots of forecasts, as I'm saying, they're very educational and they're showing actually the real trades. But you can also still just watch the strategies, and then when you watch the forecast, you would understand what is happening in these videos, what I'm trying to show and what I'm trying to explain in my videos. So it's not just a forecast of predicting what is going to happen, because I've been saying so many times that my strategies works. It's not really that much depends on which way the market goes. You're not trying to predict exactly it should go up or should go down. As long as it goes somewhere, we're looking for any consolidations, any patterns, and placing the orders, mostly pending orders, both directions. That's how I work. It's pending orders. Again, for some of you don't understand pending orders. It's not buying and selling at the same time at the current price. It's placing the orders. So when the market reaches one or another order, it will be triggered. So it's not at the same time buying or selling. So for some of you who doesn't understand that too, just please watch the videos attentively. And if you're not happy, you don't understand something, you can always ask me. You can always leave a message, or leave a comment, or contact me, and I will try to respond as soon as possible. Okay, so hopefully this time it's a little bit more clear what is happening in my videos. So now we're looking at euro-dollar. You can see it's 1 hour chart, and once again, let's see what happened this week and the possible trades I would have go for if I would be trading. Wasn't trading this week again. So this is where we stayed previous week. You can see, so all the point is what to look right? So what was this week? If you're looking on Monday, you can see, like, for example, here I was saying to you, wait for any consolidation. So here was a little bit of consolidation, but Monday for me is the watching day mostly. So I wouldn't go for anything around this area, waiting for a bit more confirmation. You see here, and this is one of the strategies, looking for the channels before the European or UK market opens. And this is what happened. It's a 1 hour chart. So if you go, I'm not just spending much time to go on the 15-minute charts, but go on the 15-minute charts, you will see that the channels would be much longer and better visible, right? And so this is where I would go for my first trade. This would have been the trade. So you can see here we have clear 80 pips, which I'm saying because I'm placing the trades, pending orders 20, or maybe 25 pips, all depends. Here I would probably go for 20 because the channel is narrow. So out of this, at least 50 pips of profit was very easy to get. And then you can see that's the patterns. I didn't make a video about head and shoulders, so here I want to show you a little bit more. You see when it's created the top, so it would come out from the trade using the trailing stop as usual. So of course hoping that it might reach the top, but you can see it never happens always how you want it to be. It does what it wants to do. So we're only trying to get a little bit of profits, right? And risking as less as possible. So if you don't have a big account, so you're trying to risk less. So here's, you see, when the market moved down, this is what you expect. We have a little bit of here, let's say shoulder, when you had this top. So this is the first thing comes into head. It possibly will be creating head and shoulders. So, and you're waiting for the second shoulder, for example, right? So I wouldn't get into the trade like this. So yes, it turned around. There is no way for me would be getting. I'll be waiting for the next. You can see here's the shoulder, same little channel, head and shoulder, and this is the neck area. So this would be the second trade I would go for. Again, you can see it's Tuesday, Wednesday, some of the good days to trade. And again, it's the somewhere opening the European London sessions. So this would be the second trade. Again, I would probably come out here with the trailing stop, something like that. So now it's stopped around this area, and what to do next. So you can see here we had a non-farm payroll, and I was saying to you that it will be major news. But for example, see, I wouldn't go for this trade. Why? Because it didn't prepare well enough before the news event. Again, watch the videos, all the same, nothing's changed. The old videos, but the strategy is the same. It didn't create any channel. It didn't slow down well, so it went down and went up a little bit. It had a slow down before the news event, but for me it wasn't good enough. So I wouldn't go for this trade. So that's how to trade. This is how I trade Forex. So this is my way of trading it. So whether you like it or not, it's up to you, but this is how I do, and you can see how it works. It does work for me anyway. Okay, so what now? The first thing first, again, when you have some patterns and then you have, obviously we had a little bit of the uptrend, right? So then you think where it should stop and why it stopped right here, not like a little bit lower or maybe a little bit higher. So then this is where you use Fibonacci levels. I'm not showing it much of the Fibonacci in my videos because it will take even more time for making videos, and then the videos will be like 2 hours. But you need to bear in mind, right? So like using Fibonacci in this example, just giving you examples. So why it stopped here? Because look, it's 61 of the Fibonacci level 1. This is when the market went down. This is where you expect it to stop, for example, right? If you don't use trailing stop, you can think using the Fibonacci. Or you can see 78. So of course you would expect it to go right to this bottom because it's in an uptrend channel, right? So you would expect it to continue this way, but it's not always. So, and the pattern also, you would expect the pattern walk. Usually if it went up, created the patterns, you would see exactly the same length. Not always the same. I was telling about it all the time, many times in my every video. So it's usually would go either halfway using the Fibonacci levels. So in here you can see the Fibonacci levels. This is where would have been some of the stopping points. So you could possibly go all the way right to level 78 or at least 61. So for me, that would be still going in with the trading stops. I do prefer still go with trading stops. Because that's how I feel is a bit better for me working. I'll try to get, yes, I do miss sometimes very, very good moves because trailing stops I usually place about 25, 30 pips, sometimes could be a bit bigger, but also closing half positions. Sometimes, yes, I do close half positions and leave in a safe area and try to get a bit better in the bigger move, for example. So right now, what I would wait, I would look for the next week, and so as you saw that Fibonacci area around this level, I would remove this level so it wouldn't be confusing. I will also remove all of this. You wouldn't see those levels. I wouldn't just spend much time on it. But what looking for now, of course, is any consolidation again. So as it started to go down a little bit, it would be good if we would kind of get to this level. But as you know, those levels could be plus, minus, a little bit higher, a little bit lower. So any consolidation around this area, closer to the level. And again, any patterns, you see, that's why I'm giving you those examples. So you look for exactly what I'm showing you, like from the previous weeks. You see what I look for. Exactly the same we'll be looking for this coming week. And again, having the levels already. So I do have the levels, and this is what I will be waiting. And once again, so which way it should go? Of course, it's in a still uptrend channel. So yes, of course, if it will consolidate around here, the first thing you would think, oh, it should continue and going up. And of course, this is what will be the first thing. Yes, it's an uptrend channel still, right? So yes, I would be thinking it should do that, but I will still be placing trades both directions, because anything can happen on the market and it can change the directions at any time, and especially when it is at the very important level. So it gets very close to the uptrend channel lower level, so it could possibly break it and go down. So that's why both directions levels, pending orders, both directions again after any consolidation around this area. But this what would have been the trades this week for that previous week. So I hope it's understandable. So this is the way how I trade. Okay, now we're going to pound dollar. So what happened with pound dollar here? Let's go 1 hour chart and see what happened again this week. Well, previously we were around here, the market went up, and I was saying to you I would wait for any consolidation, right? Because we went up a little bit, maybe it would be a little pennant or anything to go for the smaller, right? For the smaller trade, and expecting again, if it went up, waiting for a little pennant, wherever, and continue the way up, right? So how the trend, but at the same time it could have break and go back, but it's right now in unclear what trend it is in, because if we go on the daily chart, we can see we have cross of the channels. Well, weekly would be the better view again. We have a downtrend and the uptrend. So it's right now sits in here. Remember, I was saying to you from the previous week again that I would see it probably sitting a little bit around this area until something would happen, and then it will make a decision which way to go, because at this moment, stuck in around here, it's kind of still in a downtrend channel, but still didn't come out from the uptrend channel. And of course, it can break that level and continue and actually showing us it is in the uptrend channel, but it's not doing it just yet. There will be some news this week. There will be not many news for American dollar, but will be news for euro, for pound. So bear in mind, so anything can happen. So in here, for example, you see I wouldn't go for any trades because it didn't create any consolidation. It just chose to continue its way. And I have a little bit of the breaking level here, because again, we had a little bit of this shoulder and we had a little bit of the head. So of course, the first thing come to head again, maybe it will create another shoulder, and that would be a good opportunity to go for the trade, right? Of course, if it's a head and shoulder, then you think, yeah, it should continue, it's changing the trend, right? So it went down, so you expect it to go up. Yes, it is, but it's not confirmed. For me, it's not clear. It's not clearly confirmed. Yes, it's continuing going up. Yes, it's broke. It's a little bit around this area. But so for me, for example, for this week, pound, I wouldn't go for any trades. It was nothing for me. So that's how it is. Because you see, I created this little level and it's broke here. So it's created a little bit of consolidation around this area. So I could possibly go and try to go for this trade. Just see again in here for a small trade. You see, it's broke here once and then created a little channel and broke again, kind of going by the shoulder length, right? So about the shoulder length. So yes, it could have been a possible trade. So it's about 50 pips, so about 30-20 pips out of this trade could have been done. So as I'm saying, depends if I would be trying to get more trades, depends how it would be, because I'm still not trading, as I'm saying. So possibly we'll be back next week trading manually again. So it was possible, yes, it was possible. So but now you see it got up, and well, I'm going to move this level to that position now, because I do have two bottoms, and yes, of course, to bear in mind that it's possible of changing the trend a little bit, right, from this little downtrend to possibly going to change into uptrend. But we have important level here, and I would see again any consolidation around this area, around those levels, any of those levels, wherever it peaks. So any consolidation, placing the direction, placing the orders both directions again, because you see there is no clear. It might continue the way up. At the same time, it might break. I would wait for breaking that level, of course, anywhere it will create, and will continue the way down again. So very understandable, very clear. So you can see how it could work this week, and this is what I would be looking for this week. Anything around those levels. Okay, and so well, it's easy to, of course, you understand if it will go next that level again, any consolidation around here, and if it will go up. Well, here would depend because it's a quite a distance, and using a Fibonacci again. So if you see, for example, from that level, depends where it's create. We have about 300 pips. Of course, in 1 week it might not go all the way. Depends. There will be some news possibility. Then Fibonacci. Do not forget about Fib levels. You see, that's how we do. Because it was downtrend, right? So this is the Fib. You would think so where it could go. If it will break the level, right, we have 61 level and we have 78. So this is more realistic, right, for it to go in a week. So we have about, what, 170 pips. Very achievable instead of looking for 300 pips straight away. So this is what I would be looking for. Even again, I'm not leaving the FIBA because it would be a little bit messy. But when it will start to do something and create something and try to come out, this is what I would be looking for, right? Breaking it and be stopped by one of those FIBA levels. So that's how it works. That's how I do it. Okay, now we're going to Australian dollar. Remember, Australian will be some news, quite a lot of news for Australia. So possibly, maybe finally it will make it move, because Australian is not going to be too much to say. It was sitting in this channel, right? So I was expecting, I was telling you, wait for it to consolidate and create anything here. Obviously, for me, again, it wasn't good enough. I mean, you could draw that level and break it, right, for waiting for the break. It reached that level and jumped up again. So for me, for example, would be no trade. I would remove this, nothing. And well, obviously there is nothing. There was not nothing for Australian dollar this week. And also you can see on with the American news, also Australian dollar for me again didn't prepare well. So that's why I wouldn't go for trade even when the non-farm happened. And easy now. It still sits around the same levels. You can see how the levels works and how they help. So I would just wait again for any consolidation around all of those levels. Just I was saying to you in the previous video, and any consolidations, place in the directions. And of course, don't forget the news, especially the news for Australian dollar will be coming. So possibly there will be some movements. How big they will be, I have no idea. Nobody will ever tell you how big it will be and which direction the pair will choose to move. Also, nobody will tell you. So that's why I will be looking for pending orders both directions, but it has to be, again, very good consolidations for me around those levels. Okay, now we're going to dollar yen. Okay, dollar yen is, let's see what happened this week, what I was waiting for and looking for. Okay, so looking at 1 hour chart, dollar yen. So we had, here we were stopped, and you can see again any consolidation. So here was a bit of a consolidation, and this could have been a possibility to go for any trades. Again, both directions, right? Placing the pending orders both directions, and it would have picked up the sell order. And where it stopped again, you can see again at one of the levels we had from the previous trades. So and then of course turned around like this. So well, possibly I wouldn't catch the movement like that because it just broke and jumped back up without creating anything reasonable. Yes, it kind of created double bottom. Here you can see mini double bottom, and also we had this important level, so it could have been possibly place any orders here, but not personally for me, so I wouldn't go for it. So, but as you remember previously, again from the previous forecasts and analysis, I told you about this double bottom, right? So I was telling you that we have one bottom and we have another bottom, which was very messy. So we had a false breakout, right? We had a false, it's broke down, but next to the next bottom, which I was telling you, it's possible, right? So it didn't turn around straight away. It's still broken here first. So it was possible to make some profit here to go for trade, and then it's turned around. So now it does look like creating a double bottom. Yes, no, who knows again. But so what's the possibilities would be for this coming week, where to look for? Well, let's say again for non-farm, you can see again how the market didn't prepare at all for the trade. So you see why I wouldn't go for a news event this week. You see it's nothing prepared. Had a little bit of consolidation, but it had a very good jump and went down and it's a little bit slowed down, but nothing again for this coming news. I don't know, maybe it's because the last week of summer it was very messy, but that's what I'm saying. I don't really like trade in August. I don't really like July, August months, especially August is not my favorites. But you saw all my analysis, and even if I would be trading, you saw that I would have done mostly no losing trades. So you saw it how it's happening. You see, it's like not losing trades. Well, it was like one with gold, which we will be talking about it in a minute. So, okay, so you can see nothing prepared, but now what to look for is again, right, we saw it looks like double bottom, but before the American, that's what I'm saying with the American news, not fantastic for American dollar. That's why you can see it doesn't make very big movements. So possibly now it could be again stopping by that level. So like it did before, right? So that double bottom. So it could possibly just from here move up to that level and just make a U-turn again, right? So turn around just like I did here. And especially there will be not much news for American dollar, so I don't know if it will get the strength or not to continue to know, or maybe it will just stuck around this area, and maybe it will create this double top this time, and this could be used as a neck area again to go down again, right? So that's what I'm saying. At one point it does look like it's a double bottom, but at the same time nothing is coming for American news. Well, you never know, anything can come out, right? Anything can be, maybe some comments, say political events again, right? As you all know about all these things. So anything can happen. What I would look again for the best for dollar yen in this particular for this week. Well, again, I'm saying it looks like a little top here, so I would look for possibly another top here. So maybe it will reach this area, right? So if it will reach that area, will create anything like this little bit top, and then it will slowly come down to here, then I would consider this and try to look maybe for the sell orders again from that level. If, for example, that's not the case, it might go up and then consolidate around this level, then I would place pending orders both direction around this area. So I would consider possibly trying to continue the way up to the next level or back to this level again. So that could be a possibility. So this is how I would look at it. So now you see this level consolidation or get to this level. If it's a double top, using this as a neck. If it's not, maybe it will just sit around this level. Then I would use any consolidation around this level again for pending orders both directions, again trying to reach that level or going and reach back to these two levels. So this is how I would look at dollar yen. That's all. Very easy. Okay, now dollar CAD. Okay, so here you can see lots of drawings I made. Those again, the way possibly I could have looked and tried to trade dollar CAD. So how you could trade, up to you, as I'm saying, if you do maybe trade the same way or looking at the possibilities. So that's how I would look at it. So you might be agree, might be disagree. It's up to you, but this is how I would look at it. You see, this is what happened, right? Previous week, a week before. So we had a bit of consolidation around this level, and well, kind of not much. Again, it's Mondays. I'm saying I'm not trading Mondays mostly. Trying just to watch it again, and so it started to consolidate and right at our very important levels, but then suddenly it's turned around and reached the top of the our channel, right? So we had a downtrend channel, and so here possibly I could draw this level, you see, and see, because it's in a downtrend again, right? So we knew it's a downtrend, so possibility of it went up and continued way down again, well, breaking and continue go down, right? And actually it had a very good, it broke here. So usually I look for better signals, not just one break, right? So it's broke that up little trend, and then it's created little channel again. You see, like that little nice channel. So this would have been not going here, but right here, where it's like a second confirmation. It does look like it has a bit of the little channel, so it should go down. Well, except I would still place the orders both direction, using that level to place buy orders, just in case, because it broke once. So I would think, okay, it's broke, maybe it will have a little retracement, and then it will continue breaking it, right? But it went down a bit deeper before that big move. So here would be the first to try to get the profit. And you see this little channel is very, very nice and very narrow. So we have about 40 pips up to 60 pips. So probably about, well, my usual little 10 pips, maybe 20 pips I could get out of here. Also, there is also another thing to look at. This one tried to show you previously, because we have a double bottom, which I was telling you about previously. And if you look here, it's created exactly the same in like a first bottom. You see, it had a little double bottom in that big bottom, and it's exactly the same it started to create here. So that would have been like a third confirmation that it will go down at least to that level again. So it would be possible to get a little bit of profit around this area. So on that movement. So now we're going look again. So what happened next? After that, you see, it didn't consolidate, didn't create anything here. It just jumped up back and continued the way up. So for me here would have been just waiting. What is it going to do next? Because yes, I could start to draw something like that and see maybe it will do exactly the same. We'll stop and then we'll try to turn around here, because yes, it does look double bottom. It does look like it might go up, at the same time it might turn around and continue the way down. So you see, when it's jumped up and then it started to sit around here, this area. So this is where it could be from that little pennant, right? Is a pennant? Yes, little pennant. And here again, I would place the pending orders to sell here and the pending orders to buy here, because again, in the bigger picture, it looked like a double bottom, which means that it could possibly change in a direction, right? And it did. You see, this is very good movement, which was very easy to catch. We had very good, you see, 120 pips, and had a very, very good no backwards and forwards. So it would be 120, at least 80 good pips would have been here. So I would say maybe 100 pips, but the clean 80 pips definitely will get in that movement. So it's very, very good indications of that move. So, and then once again, we're looking for, so double bottom, you would wait for it. Okay, where should it go? It should go to this area, right? Because this is where our double bottom is. But not again using the Fibonacci levels. We had a drop and we're looking. So will it go all the way here or not? No. Fibonacci, here's the help. Again, you see where it stopped, 61. You would expect next would be 78. So when it reached one of those important levels, even the 15 started to create something like this, a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of slowing down. It's around 61 levels. So again, Fibonacci levels helping, right? Removing them now, so it would be a little bit clear. And so here, after that, that's what this looked like, a flag, right? A flag pattern. And you would expect again, okay, so it's either will continue the way up and try to reach that if it's dollar is strong enough, right? Or it will drop. So the first thing, of course, oh yeah, it's a flag, so it should continue up. So that's why I'm placing orders both directions, because you see it didn't continue the way up, it dropped. And again, we're going in the smaller charts where you see it much better. It's a much better view of this pattern flag. You see, even going to 15 minutes, even better view. And once again, a good draw, and you'd expect it, yeah, go right to that level. But of course, using the trailing stops for me, for example, so what I would get out of this movement is, you see, it's 170 pips movement. It's very clean. It's very clean, very good movement. So 170, and then it started to turn around. So this is where I probably would have been go out from the trade. So my trailing would be something doing with this. So at least clean 100 pips out of this movement. It's like 100 pips clean profit, at least. Even 150 I probably would get out of this movement. So you can see this is the way of trading. This is the way I trade. That's how to trade it. How to trade, no signals you need. You don't need any other indicators. All you need is uptrend, downtrend. I mean, like uptrend like this, downtrend like this. Looking for the bigger picture, analyze it to see where it will go. Use Fibonacci. Let's say this is indicator. Some call it indicator. Some people don't call it indicator. For me, it's not an indicator. It's also levels. But I say it easier. Just say, okay, indicator, Fibonacci levels. If you're looking to where to get out from the profit or waiting for any slowing down, if you don't understand where it's happening, so you use Fibonacci. So I'm saying, because I don't use it much and not showing it to, because I already can see, understand where it possibly will be stopping, because I do know roughly where the Fibonacci will be. So just don't forget, just use those tools and that's it. You don't need any other averages, MACDs or IRS, wherever, any other indicators. You can see, you can get all the trades with just simple breakouts. So price action, that's it. Consolidation, pattern, broke, get in, get out, that's it. So in here you see, again, depends how you protect yourself. As I'm saying, it's all individually. Some people would place stops a little bit higher, some a bit low. For me, for example, I like to have very narrow stops to catch and not try to get into the bad trades if there is something happens. So you see, some of you possibly could even reach that level, right? So just it could be a possibility, depends where you place the stops. So for me, I wouldn't get this one already, no. And that was also Friday, the news event. Also for me, I also didn't really like it much how it's prepared for the news event, so I probably wouldn't get into this trade. So that would have been enough really to get out. Well, so what's now? Now lots of talking about dollar CAD, but as I'm saying, I'm trying to just show is how to trade, the way of trading Forex, the way I trade it, and how it works for me. So if it works for me, it could work for somebody else. I don't know. Up to you. And so now we can see what happened actually. Well, it didn't change the direction. Possibly it could be, maybe it's a false breakout, or, well, the world is not very good news for dollar. It could, well, actually be continue the downtrend, right? So let's just go in the bigger picture and just see what is it else. We still have this bottom, so it's still bottom to consider, right? So it could possibly go. I'm not drawing it right now because it's still not clear if it's continued the way, or maybe it was just a false breakout. We don't know what's going to happen. It will be Canadian news again this week, Canadian news, so watch it out if you will be trading dollar CAD. Once again, it's back into this little channel. You can see how strong this channel is actually, right? So very strong because, well, you know why? Because of the double bottom, right? So it's still here, and that's it. Just waiting for any consolidation. Again, nothing else. Consolidation or any pattern would create here. So yes, of course, I would think it's reached that bottom, right, of this channel. So it possibly would have a little bit of correction. It's like really would drop, and maybe it will be a little bit of the correction. And if it will correct something around here, maybe I could draw a level and see it will inside the channel again break down here, or possibly using the top of this channel, and it might go back up, right? So might have a recovery finally. So that's it, easy. This is for our chart. You go, of course, on the smaller charts, and this is where you see a clear picture. So you can see right now it's already started a bit of the consolidation, and but I mean, as I'm saying, with the open market and Monday, it depends. It can create anything, but for me, it will be watching just to see what is it going to do, what it will create. That's it, very easy. So just leaving the same levels, and that's all we'll be looking for next week. Okay, now we're going to Euro Pound, and again 1 hour chart. So, well, here the possible trades, maybe possibly, not sure if I would go for trades with Euro Pound, not just at this point where it went, see the Monday. We had, again, like something like a little bit of the pennant, but not very strong because the movement wasn't very big, right? So we had, as I'm saying, it was going the direction we expected. If you watched again the videos, you know which way it was going. It was going up. I was telling you about it a long time. That it's slowly moving up, but not giving very good opportunities to get in. It was creating a little bit of small little patterns, little channels, but the movements were not strong, not very big. Like here again, see like with 40, 30 pips. So yeah, for 10 pips, I could go possibly for 10 pips possibility. And but once again in here, just like similar to what happened to Euro, with Euro Pound, you see it's also kind of looking like a head and a shoulder again when it's created the top, then you would look at to come back to at least about shoulder area, but here it was more like a pennant, as I'm saying. But here's the little channel. This is what we could have used. Again, if we go on a smaller chart, I'm not going right in the 15-minute, well, okay, let's go on a 15-minute chart, you'll see it's a bit better, because for such narrow little channels, you look on a 15-minute chart, so this is where you could go for this trade. So, yeah, and about 60 pips. So as I'm saying, it was possible to get into this trade. Especially, you see, it was the top level was quite strong for this, looking like head and shoulders, right? And even though that wasn't really head and shoulders, but something similar, and created a bit of the channel and went down. So, and then of course the next, when it went down, this would be a bit better view, let's say, and to go for the trade, right? And then I would probably use something like that to looking for breaking and replacing orders to buy, go back up, and to sell from that level, right? Because we had the bottoms here, and it's also around very important level. It's started to create this another, well, something like a pennant again pattern. And here you would expect the movements again, not very big because of this levels. You see, it's about 30 to 40 pips. So that's what I'm saying. There were possibilities to get into the trade. Not sure if I would be doing because they're very small, because the levels are very close to each other. But that's how it is. I mean, so it's everybody's choice how you see it. Would you go for those? If, well, I would usually go if I wouldn't see any opportunities on the other pairs. So if I have nothing on the other pairs, then I will go for these ones. These ones are like my second pairs to look at. So that's how I usually concentrate on the main pairs, and then turning into the those other pairs like euro pound, or like the same like a dollar, or dollar Australian, or dollar yen, or dollar CAD. So my priority is, of course, is euro dollar. So if I'm in a good trade with euro dollar, or if I'm in a losing floating trade, then I would think to come out from the good, from like, let's say, bad trade first before I will be looking for the other pairs. So, but I'm showing to you all the possibilities. Depends what you concentrating on. So, and you can see again, I created this little level because we had of these movements. And so what now? Let's say, yeah, we had this very long uptrend trend. Yeah, we had it up, then it's like a bit of consolidation, went up again. So we still kind of not sure, yeah, right? It could still continue to go up, because if it is, remember I was telling you about this pattern looking like a flag, right? Not very clear, but still looking this. It might continue to go all the way to this top. Depends what the news will be, right, for euro and for pound. And at the same time, there is a double top here, and it's possibility of finally actually turning around and starting to downtrend. And with some, possibly maybe some good news for pound, of course, we might see that actually maybe this is the change in the trend a bit, right? But at this point, it's very hard to say, and it's stopped around again. We have a little level from the previous trade, we have this little channel, and we have another level here, and we have another level right here. Yes, it's very complicated, but this is how it is. You see how it was all these months, all these weeks with euro pound. And so I would now look again for any consolidations. And well, it's at this picture now, it looks a bit more like a shoulder, bigger head, and another shoulder. See, on a bigger 4-hour chart. That's why we're looking at the big chart. So as a 4-hour chart shows us, well, actually giving us like ringing the bell. Look at this. It's possibly starting to moving down. So what could be? It could be slow, just like it slowly was going up. So it could be slowly starting to go down, not making huge movements like you see, like 40, 50 pips, but slowing down, right? So it could be turning around in a slow way, the same, maybe similar way to see it. But as I'm saying again, depends how big the news will be for euro and pound. So any big news, so you can see drop. Could be. So if you are trying, so for example, if I would be looking to go into trades and try not to lose opportunity and catching a good move, so yes, expecting it to okay, and then possibly next continue going down to the next level, about 70 pips and 140 pips to the next level. So it could be good trades. And where you see where it sits again, yes. So I would wait for any consolidation around this area. So any consolidation again, then I would go for trades. But as I'm saying again, in this moment, of course, looking more for sell. But as I'm saying, it can turn around anytime. As I'm saying, what the news will be, then it would be possibly will be turning around, and then it could be a pending order for buy. But what we're gonna bear in mind that we have again. So if it will sit around this area somewhere, then it probably would be a bit better. So then we would look from that level to, you see this top level, again about 40 pips. So would you risk it, or even 20 pips just to get back to this level again? So that's all depends. Would you risk it or not, and what the news will be. But I will look for, any consolidations again. So very easy again for any consolidation. So if it will continue the moving slowly down, then of course I would wait it for the next level and consolidate around this level. If it will move slightly up, so it would be any of those, the blue level I'd wait, or anywhere around this area. So that's it, just waiting for Usual thing, any consolidation. So that's how I would look at Euro Pound, but you can see on the bigger picture, it does look like it's the first signs of change in the direction. Okay, and now gold, dollar gold. So here we are, the good example of the trade I told you previous week. So if I would be trading gold, remember that it was first triangle and it's broke here. So I told you this is where would I get first a losing trade, because I placed both directions, yes, even though I told you long time ago where gold is going. So my first thing and the first ring bells were it's going up, right? Remember I told you and pointed out why I felt this way. And anyway, I was still placed, and that's why, yes, it's risky. So I would get first loss, and then I would be sitting in the buy order. And I told you previous week, it was right here, because if you remember, I had my level was right here, right? As you remember, right here. And this is where I placed. I would place my buy order from that level, slightly high. So as I said, I will be, when the market closed, I would have been in a floating either loss or break even. And I wouldn't come out from the trade until if it will turn around down here and break that level and go down. So my stop would have been around here. That's how I want you to understand, and it's to be clear. So I went down here, here would have been my stop. Why I would have been in losing trade? Because it was a bit of a triangle, so that I would have placed above the triangle level, right? And then so that's why I would have been stopped around here somewhere, but taken into the buy trade and sitting on it. And look at this, what happened on Monday. So this is a little bit, as I'm saying, with gold. I see a good movement on Monday, so probably just that pair, I would be looking for trades go on Monday. Of course, I wouldn't go for any trades. I would have been in the trade from the previous week. And you can see how beautiful it went up. It was so if I would be around here somewhere, right, look at this. It's like in the first movement on Monday, it's like 340 pips movement. So 300 pips, clearly, you see, it didn't retrace, it didn't come back anywhere, so we even had a gap. So I would have been out around this area, obviously, when it started to go back down. So at least 300 pips out of just that movement. This week would have been just, of course, amazing. I mean, I would have covered the loss I made from here and make a lot of profit. So that's it. You can see how this all working. It's a very long video, but I just wanted to show you and explain the things, what I'm trying to tell you. And in this forecast, it's not just simple forecast. It's actually learning how to trade it profitably. As you can see, you've been with me, many of you, for many years even. You've seen it's mostly the profitable trades I'm showing you. You saw in the few losing trades using these simple old strategies, like some saying, old videos, old strategies, they all work. Everything old is working well. For me, at least, anyway. You can see, I don't know how much proof for some of you it needs to be. You saw my live trades. You've been seeing me predicting the markets. You've been seeing me predicting all these movements, all these trades. And you see how they come out. If it's a losing trade, I'm telling you, but how many you saw losing trades with me? Well, so, and again, you see the importance of those levels. It was stopped, but it didn't create anything, so on the way down, I wouldn't catch it. So my next entry, you see it's consolidated around this level, so it has a little pennant again. So here I would be placing my buy and sell orders from that. So I would get possibly for this trade, but probably I wouldn't, because that happened at night. And all the pairs, except of course the yen and like Australian also, but mostly like yen, the other pairs, all the other pairs, it's usually I do prefer to trade with the opening European market, London market, and also American, New York. That's where you usually go. Asian markets only for the Asian pairs. So that was about 1 o'clock in the morning, UTC. You see, this is more, it was an Asian session, so that movement happened back then. So if I would, for example, leave the trades pending orders for the night, then I would get in this trade. But usually I don't. If I don't, I can't watch it. It depends again where in the world I am. So, for example, right now I'm sleeping at Asian session. I'm in Spain, so I'm not watching it, so I wouldn't probably risk it. So I wouldn't get into this. But it was a little bit of, it actually wasn't that bad movement for gold. You see the movements are quite well, so it's about 70 pips. So possibly would have been a good trade, but probably for me, no. And when it's turned around also, I probably also wouldn't get that movement, because there is nothing, it's done after you see it's broken here, and then it's just jumped up back. So nothing for me. I wouldn't catch this one. So you see, I'm honest with you. I'm not like creating of something. Some people say, oh, I would place maybe another trade from here. No, I wouldn't, because it didn't create anything. So yes, that movement out of my view, I wouldn't get it. But what I would probably go for, because with American news also influencing the gold, I would probably go for non-farm. So because you see, after that big jump again, it's created a little pennant, and inside the pennant, little channel here, yeah. And so that's why I probably would go for a non-farm, which wasn't fantastic even for gold. So what we had about 12.30, that was the movement. So it was still about 70-80 pips, so probably about 50 pips, depends again how big the spread was, and probably just maybe 30 pips I could get out of this. So possibly yes. So yeah, and you see how it all works. That's how it works for me. That's how I trade. And now, still, if you remember again where I would wait, I'm waiting for it to continue to get to this level. Remember, a long time ago, if you were with me, you know why. Not repeating myself again. Many times been repeating. So now again, it's at this level from the previous trade around this area. We'll be waiting again for any consolidation. You saw again any channels or pennants or triangles, anything around this area. And of course, as I'm saying, the first thing, just like I was saying to you, yes, expecting to continue the way up. You see still 400 pips possibly to catch. But on the way up, you see we had ups and downs. So that's why, even though, yes, it probably, I hope it will, well, maybe it will continue up. But at the same time, you saw me, I would place the orders both directions. Yes, maybe sometimes I will be catching losing trades. But it's always, you never know, because yes, it might still turn around. But just see a bigger picture, see if it could possibly turn around, and why. Why can't it possibly turn around here? Because it's right at one of the important levels, and it was turning around here before. Even though it had 2 levels to break, so that's why it turned around, well, more here. So it's kind of more chances of, right now, it's, you see, it went to that level, went down, and then now it's trying to get back to this level again. So yes, it might continue, but at the same time, it might be stopped. It's been stopped before, so it was stopped. Will it break it this time? That's what we're going to see. We will see. But any consolidation, and for me again, placing orders both directions. If anything good, I will be looking for trades around this area. Okay, so now we're going to pound yen. Also a lot of levels here. You can see it looks like scary, but no, let's go on a small chart. You will see we don't really need all these levels. I'm just having them for you to show what actually happened. Again, so the open in the market, what we had, you see, went down, went up. So Monday was sitting, and we were waiting. So you see it turned around and dropped again back to the channel, the level. And so the first thing was to think, okay, what is happening? I told you we have this mess, right? We had this bottom. So what I told you, I would probably expect a mess around here too, which, because that looks like it, again, head and shoulders, the upside down head and shoulders. So that's why I would have drawn this level after all of this happened, right? So here would be the neck. And this is where I would be waiting for the market to break that neck. So that was Monday, and that was the beginning of Tuesday, and this is where I would place my trades. And also you can see why I draw this level, just to see why did it stop here, right? It went up, and then stopped here and then turned around. So because we had the previous stops around this area, so a little bit low, a little bit high, roughly, it gave us an idea of why it stopped around here, so possibly. So we have one level and another level, so that would have been I'm waiting for to break that, because again, looking in the bigger chart, we had a big drop, and it's quite a double top, right? We had double top here and another double top, and it's pretty much finished the pattern. Didn't reach a little bit, but still kind of. So this is where you wait and think it could be a turning point, right? This is the first signal of turning point with the head and shoulders. So it gave us a bell of creating the head and shoulders. Okay, so I see now possible turning around. But at the same time, yeah, it could have continued the way down, but the first sign of changing the trend. So that's how you look for the good signals of changing the trend. Again, might not we go all the way. Again, don't forget we can use the Fibonacci to see where this possible would go. So with the Fibonacci, I bet this would be about the same, one of the important Fibonacci levels with this level. So yes, of course, I would expect that possibly to go to that. But first, as a head and shoulders, they first had a bit of the mess here. So of course I can expect that it might get to about this area. I'm not drawing another level here. I just do not make so much mess. I will remove those levels afterwards. We don't need them. But I would wait for it to go around this area and start to create anything around here, consolidate around this area, right? And then to see, will it continue to this level, or possibly if it will consolidate around here, depends. I can also use still that maybe to see if it will be sitting around this area. Maybe I wouldn't need it. All depends. I will leave it for now just to see. Or if it will be something messy like this, maybe it will have a little bit of straight consolidation again, and then going back down. This will be the first level, and then trying to get back inside the channel. So that's how I would look at it. But at this moment, we look at, of course, it does look like it changed direction. We had a head and shoulders. It's the very good of the pattern telling us about I'm going back up, right? So it's going down, now I'm changing it. So that's all, guys. That's how to look at it. And well, again, you see with this trade, you have to the next level, you see 140 pips. It's a 140 pips movement. So easy, 100 pips to get out of this movement. So that's how easy it is. And that's it. Very understandable, nothing else you need really. So that's all, guys. I hope this video was useful for you, because this is a very big explanation of the way I trade and the way how I think and consider all those things. And if you really like the video, don't forget to subscribe, share it with your other friends who also trades. And if you have any questions, you can always ask. As I'm saying, write a comment if you don't understand anything. Yes, I have a bit of the accent, as I'm not native English speaking. So that's why if you don't understand, ask. I'll try to answer. And of course, happy trading, everyone. And I see you next week. Bye, everyone.